What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Roll Down Loft. Today's a little windy, so I probably won't be flying any birds, so most of the filming is going to be done inside the loft. Sorry if there's a little wind noise, as it is a little windy outside. Not sure what's going on today. It's just going to be a random day of roller pigeon talk, so just stay tuned, guys. I'll try to figure out something to talk about. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is maybe just go through every single bird in my loft and just kind of tell you guys what's going on with them and telling you guys what the purpose of them are being in this loft. So stay tuned, guys. So let's start out with the layout of the loft. As you can see, I added 2 more nest boxes up here. So I believe I have a total of 12 nest boxes in here. Although I do have less than 10 pairs in here. If I do end up getting a kit box, I do plan to do some more hardcore breeding, so I will be bringing in some more birds if I get a kit box together. But as for now, this is the setup in here. I'm just going to leave it as is until I figure out what I'm going to do in a month or so. Let's go ahead and talk about the pairs that I have in here. All 3 boxes up here do not have any pairs in them, so we don't have to worry about those. We'll start with the first row. This box right here belongs to the almond cock and blue check hen. Get some footage down here. The cock is this guy right here. He is from Greg Fletcher, but I also believe that it is a bird that is off of John Johnson's stuff too, so I would consider it a double J bird. The hen that belongs to that one is actually this blue check right here. This is the hen. They currently both are paired, and as I stated before, this pair was the pair that originally bred the 2 babies that I got from John the very first time I ever joined the club, and he offered the 2 birds to me. So I have the original pair of those birds that I lost early last summer, so I'm hoping to be able to breed a couple more sets off of them. So that's my plan with that pair. The box below it used to have a pair of homers, but they are now gone. I do still have one of their babies. It is this dun check right here. I just kept this bird around just because it's a little stunted, a little skinny, but it seems like it's doing good, so I'm going to keep it around until it gets a little fatter. I think once it gets fatter, and then I'll probably end up just giving it to my buddy. But for now, it's going to be in here trying to fatten up. As for this one down here, this one belonged to a pair of homers also. They did end up laying 2 eggs that were fertile, but due to them, I don't know, maybe being first time parents, they sat on the eggs for maybe like the first week and a half to 2 weeks, and after that they just kind of gave up. So I ended up throwing away those eggs, or actually they cracked one of the eggs and I threw that egg away. Then they had another egg left, but they weren't doing a good job of actually sitting on the egg, so I just threw that egg out, and that pair is also gone now. So as we move up here to the second row, second nest box down, I have the Higgins slash Norm Reed pair. Their eggs are actually hatching today. Let me see if I can get a close up. Try to get this male off so none of the eggs get damaged. But we're gonna move this guy out real quick. And as you can see, the eggs, they are starting to hatch. This one already has a hole in there, and you can kind of see a little movement in there. So I'm thinking that this one might actually end up hatching today, and the other one is also hatching also, but this one doesn't have any holes in there yet. It just has some cracks. So I'm not sure if I'm planning to keep the birds in here yet. I might just give it to one of my buddies because he's having a hard time breeding birds right now. So it's a 50-50 of if I end up keeping them or if I end up giving them away. Like I said, I don't plan to do anything long term with this family. I only kept them around just because the cock and the hen are such good parents that I want to use them as foster parents. But since they're the only one laying eggs right now for me, I might be stuck flying those birds this year. But it's still really early in the season, so I think the main issue might be is because it's been fairly cold. It hasn't been warm yet, but I believe this week the temperatures are supposed to get up to the 50s, so I think that might help a lot with the other birds laying eggs and trying to breed. So we'll wait another week or so, see if the warm weather is going to help or not. So the box below the Higgins stuff belongs to the J. Starley stuff. I don't know if these are directly bred from J. Starley, but I know they are J. Starley based. I do have the pedigree. I will try to get some video of the pedigree, and I can show you guys, and you guys can let me know what you guys think. But these are J. Starley based birds. The only flaw of this pair is that if they do produce babies, some of them come out with crooked feet. And looking at the pedigree, it does look like they are related. So that's probably the reason why. I believe they can either create black babies or red babies. And if the babies come out black, they're fine. But if they come out red, they'll end up having a crooked foot. But I was told by the previous owner, club member that gave me this pair, he told me that even though they have crooked feet, they still roll. So I'm hoping to get a couple more J. Starley based birds to breed with this pair, just so I don't have to deal with the crooked feet of the birds. So we'll see what happens. One of the club members is planning to go to Colorado, and he said that he may be able to get his hands on some J. Starley stuff, so we will see what happens in a month or so from here. Alright, so here's just a quick pedigree of the J. Starley based birds. I believe this one is for the hen. You guys could probably read these better than me. If there's something in here that I should know about, just let me know in the comments below. And here is the pedigree for the cockbird. And if you pause the video, if you look closely, they are related. Down here, as you can see, the champ is in this pedigree, and the champ is also in this pedigree. So that may explain the reason why they have crooked feet, or at least the babies that come out red have crooked feet, is because they are related. So you would be considering this as a maybe inbreeding. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys see anything in the pedigrees that I should know about. But other than that, I do have tons of pedigrees from John. He keeps really good records of his birds. They go all the way back to the early 2000s. They may actually go back further than that too, but maybe one of these days I'll sit down with John and maybe have him kind of explain how he got started with birds and where a lot of his birds originate from. But yeah, just a quick glance for you guys. So the box below the J. Starley stuff belongs to a double J pair. This girl right here, this is the hen, and the cockbird is the one inside. They're both red grizzles. The one inside is just a little darker. As for the double J stuff, most of these birds were not picked from the air. They were just given to me by John to try out. So I can't guarantee that they are the best birds that he has. But I do know John does a really good job of selecting birds to breed. So I don't doubt that these birds have really good qualities in them. But I won't be able to find out until I actually breed them and test their offspring in the sky. So hopefully they give me eggs soon too, as I do have one of the double J stuff that I bred last year. Let's see, and it has started coming into the row. I'm trying to see where it's at. See this guy right here. This guy is a double J bird that I bred last year, and I used the Higgins pair to foster it out just because the original parents did a really crappy job of sitting on the eggs, and luckily it survived. The other egg cracked, but this one didn't, and this one survived. This bird actually just started coming into the row the past couple of days. It is about 4.5 months old, and I think it just took a little longer because it pretty much sat around all winter. I maybe only flew them like once every 2 weeks or so, and even so they were being fed pretty much tons of corn to keep their body fat up and keep them warm. So that may be the reason why it took a little longer to come into the row. But Other than that, this bird's starting to come in the row, and I'm hoping that with a couple more months of flying that it gets a little deeper. But as for now, I'm happy with it. At least I know that it possesses the row, which is one of the main factors of rollers, that you want to make sure that they do possess the row and they are able to roll. So we'll give this guy a couple more months and see how it does. So as of the 4th row, this box right here belongs to a double J pair also. The cockbird is this silver check right here, and the hen is a blue check, which is this girl right here. I've had this pair pretty long. I had them since last year, but I think when I got them last year it was already getting close to winter, so they never laid eggs for me. So I'm hoping that they do lay eggs for me now. I did home both of them and they do both roll, but due to the fact that I don't want to lose them, I haven't been flying them at all. They're just going to be locked up now for breeding purposes, so hopefully they lay eggs soon also. For sure, I know the hen possesses the row, and I know the cockbird possesses the row, as I did fly them for a couple months before making the best decision of locking them up and not letting them out anymore. So look forward to their eggs also. So the next box below that box belongs to the Mason cockbird and the double J hen. This was pretty much an accidental breeding, just because both birds were single at the time and it just ended up pairing up, so I was like, whatever. The Mason bird's getting old, so might as well just let it breed and do its thing. I do still have to check the eggs to see if they're fertile or not. As for the Mason cock, I don't know if a lot of people know the history about the Mason birds at all. Me personally, I don't know, but I do know that this cockbird is off some really good stock. Wayne Feather of Minnesota, club member. I think this family of birds qualified him top 10 World Cup for 3 years. I believe it's 3 years. I don't remember if it's 2 years or 3 years. And I was told by Wayne Feather that this cockbird is off of his best pair of the Mason stuff. So I'm trying to keep it healthy and alive as long as I can. I do have a club member attempting to find some more pure Mason hens, just so we could breed this guy out before he gets too old and he gets unfertile. But again, like I said, I will check the eggs in a bit here just to make sure they're fertile. Other than that, nothing special about the double J hen. She is the mom of the double J bird that I bred last year that was fostered out by the Higgins stuff, so I do know that she is very fertile and she's capable of breeding, but I just don't know how good of a mother she is. So we'll see if these eggs hatch or not. If they do hatch, we'll see how good these two birds do of taking care of them. So the box below the Mason stuff belongs to a double J pair. The hen is actually in the box right now. It is a blue grizzle, and the cockbird is this red check right here. I'm hoping for some babies off of them too. John said he has flown the brothers and sisters off this red check and they have performed pretty well for him, so I'm hoping that this cockbird is able to breed with its hen in here and they give me eggs soon. This hen does have a tumor on her, although it doesn't affect her breeding. I don't know if it affects her flying, but the flying doesn't matter to me because she's only here to breed and she's not here to be a flyer, so it's not a big deal. John said that he has been able to breed her even with the tumor, so hopefully they throw me some eggs here soon too. So now that we're done going through all the pairs, I'll kind of go through the single birds and the kit birds and let you guys know what they are and what I plan to do with them. We'll do this guy first. This guy is a Turner based bird, blue bar white flight. This bird was kind of a sloppy roller when I first got him last year, but this year he's improved dramatically. He's doing 20 foot plus rolls and he's doing it with really good speed and style. So this is one of the birds that I am not sure if I'm planning to breed or fly. It's between this one or another Turner bird that I have. This blue check right here is also a Turner bird, but this guy doesn't possess the speed in the roll. It's not scared of the roll, but it just doesn't roll that great yet. I don't know if it just needs more time or if it's just something that this bird isn't capable of doing. It does roll, but it just doesn't roll with speed. And this guy right here, this is just a double J bird that I bred from last year. I kind of talked about with you guys earlier. This red check right here, this is the DC bird. One of the DC birds that I won from the club auction last October, I believe. These DC birds are coming into the roll really nicely. And this might be one of the families that, if I do decide to not work with the double J stuff, I will work with the DC stuff, because they're showing me a lot of really good qualities when it comes to roller pigeons. This one might be the best one I got from last year. I believe I got 7 birds, and all the 7 birds, only 3 survived or didn't disappear. So this is one of them. This is the hen bird, and this one is probably the best bird right now in here. As for the DC birds, this guy right here is a cockbird that was bred off of the Higgins / Norm Reed stuff. I don't know what I'm planning to do with him yet. I don't know if I'm planning to keep him or get rid of him. It is a really nice cockbird. He looks exactly like the dad, just a different color scheme. But if you were to put them right next to each other, they would look exactly the same. And let's see. This is probably the best Turner bird that I have. This is a red check cock. And this guy, most likely I will be breeding from this guy. This guy has really good depth, really good speed, and really good control. So we'll see what happens with this guy. This red check right here, this is another DC bird. This is a cock bird. This one's coming into the roll really nicely too, but it's not as nice as the hen. But like I said, they're still really young, so they still have a lot of opportunity to come into the roll much better and nicer. So I'll keep my eyes open on this guy also. This guy right here is one of the Higgins / Norm Reed babies that I bred this year. These birds mature really fast. This bird is already trying to come into the roll. It's been tail riding every day or every time I let them out. This bird is maybe 60 days old. It might actually be a little less, but being that young and being able to fly like that, mature like that, it's a good sign. This bird right here is an extra Turner hen that I got from my buddy. I believe I am going to be breeding this one with one of the Turner cocks. I just don't know which one yet. It's between the red check cock or the blue bar white flight cock, but we shall wait and see what happens. She is unflown, so she's not proven in the air yet, but so far with my experience with the Turner birds, every Turner bird that I got from last year possessed the roll. Just some of the birds had better rolling abilities compared to the other ones, but other than that, they all possessed the roll and they did roll. So I have faith that if I do breed a quality cockbird with this hen, they will be able to produce me some good offspring. This blue bar right here is also a Danny corny bird. It just started coming into the roll. I believe it's about the same age as the other 2 ones, but it just started coming into the roll. And the club member that I got this bird from said that this bird is actually a brother / sister to some of his best birds in his loft. So I'm hoping that this bird comes into the roll very soon here, just so I could see what I'm planning to do with him. I think these DC birds, I think I'm gonna maybe end up stocking them, as right now they're showing me that they possess the roll and they have really good roller qualities. So I'll probably fly them for another month or so, and I think once I do get my breeders going and they finally lay eggs and they start raising some babies, I'll start locking down some of these birds. So for now, this is going to be one of my flyers, and very soon here, most likely in like a month or so, it might become a breeder. So we'll see what happens. So this blue bar down here is the double J bird that I went and grabbed from John last week. I'm planning to breed this guy with the hen that is paired up with the mason bird, but I'm gonna let them hatch their eggs and raise their babies first before I end up splitting them. The Mason cockbird will be going away, most likely, to go breed with other Mason birds, so it won't be crossed. It'll be 100% Mason bloodline. But for now, this guy will be single, chilling here until the day comes that this pair gets split up. So I almost forgot about this bird. This is the nest mate of the Higgins / Norm Reed pair. This one isn't as flighty as the other one, as I think this one has flown and kit once, but that's it. The other one has been flying and kitting every time I let it out, so I don't know if it's because this guy's lazy or he just doesn't feel comfortable flying yet. But I do like this guy a lot because this guy's really tame. When I come feed the birds, he'll fly up to my shoulder and eat out of my hands, so I really like this guy. And I do believe they're both cockbirds, as you guys seen in my last video. When I put them together, they try to kill each other, and for them being that young and trying to kill each other, I think they both are cockbirds. So I'm hoping that this guy takes the sky soon too, and hopefully it does start trying to roll and kit. But for now, he's fine at where he's at, just because he's really young and I don't expect too much from him. So we'll see what happens in a few weeks here with him. So I think we're getting close to the end of this video, but I still haven't fed the birds yet, so I'm gonna run to the garage, grab some feed, and feed them real quick, and we will go from there. So I also forgot to mention, but the same club member that I got the single nest boxes from also hooked me up with a show cage, and this show cage is in really good condition. I got it for a really good price, so shout out to him. I finally have a nice show cage where I can showcase my birds whenever I want to. So this is what I'm currently feeding my birds with. This is 16%, and I just added a little bit of corn and pellets in there. I know it's not an ideal mix when you're flying birds, but since I have my breeders and my flyers locked up, they're kind of forced to eat the same thing until I get an individual kit box. I just put the corn in there just because it's still kind of cold, but once it warms up, I'll stop feeding them corn. The pellets help a lot if your birds have babies. It makes a big difference in how the babies grow. So I just want to get the birds used to eating pellets, just so when they have babies, they will eat the pellets and they will feed their baby the pellets. But let's go ahead and feed the birds. They look kind of hungry. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you have any suggestions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll check you guys out next time.